What up, Tiger here? Sorry it's a little late, but hey, I've been studying, okay? Old since I've been in Japan. I've been in Japan for about 10 years now. So, and this video is not like just for blacks, whites, or anyone. It's just like all the just misconceptions I heard from Japanese, from my white friends to me about this person, from my black friends for this people. Just all the little things that have been said, not even just Japan necessarily, but Japan is just, for me, Japan is slightly more entertaining. Hey, how's it going? Like, first of all, when I first moved here, what's up? Why did I get demonetized for that? Nipples! Okay, anyways. So when I first moved here, I was like near Tokyo, over in Yokohama. And downtown Yokohama is a little ghetto, okay? I'm not gonna say they're sugarcoated at all. Like, they have like Yakuza, like with the gangster stuff. You know how Snoop Dogg back in the day with the lowriders? They copy that stuff. So I see that driving through. I see like they had night prostitution. It was a different area. I mean, I didn't live like in that area. I live like in the fancy condo, like right next to the station down the street. But at night, I go on night walks and I'd see some crazy ass shit. Okay, so anyways, the first thing I was told is like, I'm like mixed, okay? But in America, they're like, you're black. All right, whatever you say I am. In Japan, they're like, I don't know what you are. They just ask me at any given moment, you are Indian. They're like, yes, I'm Indian. I feel bad for Japanese. If I commit crime, they're going to be confused. But the first thing I was told is, do not talk to the Africans from Africa. That was the first thing I was told. I was like, don't talk to Africans from Africa. They're like, don't talk to them, don't associate with them, don't sit next to them, don't even make eye contact. Like if I look at them, they're gonna like attack me, and or I will explode, or they will. I really don't know. I can't remember exact reason for this. I guess like supposedly they're like ghetto, and most were criminals. And I was told this by my friends. I was told this by my Japanese friends. I was even told this by my family members. So I was like, okay. But, one night walking, I was just like, I'm going to go talk to the Africans from Africa. Kids are funny because kids will say anything. They will look at you and say, and they will actually ask crazy questions. Like, that dude looks like a monkey. Kids will just say it. They don't care. Parents are like, shut up. Don't make me hit you. I've seen parents do that. But kids are very honest. I like kids. I like honesty. Anyways, so one day I was out and about. It was Friday night. I was bored, and I don't drink so much. I was like, let's go talk to the Africans. These are the people I've been told not to talk to. So I was like, what up, guys? They were very welcoming. They're like, what? They're already like drinking on the curb. They're like, what up? I was just like, and they just passed me a beer, and I was like, okay. I took the beer. I didn't drink it just because I don't drink really so much. But I hung out with them for like an hour. And they were like, they were chill as fuck, okay? They were cool. They were fine. Like, they were out and about. Yeah, they were drinking outside, which is probably not a good look, especially in Japan. But they weren't talking to no one. They weren't harassing no one. There were girls walking by that looked okay. They didn't say nothing to them. They didn't bother anyone. They were talking to only each other. They weren't doing nothing. Talked to one dude. I was like, so what do you do here? He's like, I own my own business, right? So he had his own clothing shop. It was like right next to us, and he was fairly successful. His wife's Japanese, didn't have any kids or anything. He was like probably 25. Next dude worked at a bar. He worked at a bar like crazy hours, and that's all he did. He went to school learning Japanese, right? And so like for me, I'm still like my mind's kind of blown, right? Because my expectations are already pretty negative, because from what Japanese people told me, my family members told me, my friends told me, other gaijins told me, they're just like, don't talk to them. So I talked to them, and, like, I do the opposite of what everyone says always, for most part. I don't care, because I don't think anything's going to happen. Maybe that's me being naive. I've been told I'm naive very, very much. But they were okay. They were fine. So, anyways... So that was one situation. Then I actually went out to, Roppongi? So the first time I went out to Roppongi, we're out there looking for clubs. So that's like in the middle of Tokyo. This is where all like the foreigners go, especially younger guys, because they're told that like you can get tons of Japanese girls and sex and all that craziness. I was going with just friends. I was still married at the time, so really we should meet up in Osaka. What are you doing in Osaka? But I was told again, like, because they have like these black guys that were promoters, and they had some Russian dudes too. Like, they're basically like, don't talk to any foreign promoters. It didn't matter what nationality. This if you're foreign, if you're a promoter for a club, don't talk to them. Only talk to Japanese promoters because everyone else is dishonest. So I was like, okay. So we went. We talked to like a bunch of Japanese promoters that were trying to get us in the club. We're trying to cut deals and stuff because we had like 10 of us, and we wanted a discount, right? You know, because we're bringing. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So just let me know what time we can meet up or whatever in Osaka. Anyway, so yeah, after going to all these Japanese people, we finally went to. We kind of broke down because we're like, this, it's really expensive. It was like more than 10 yen per person. Plus, we had to buy a drink. Plus, all this other crap. So we went to this black dude, and we're like, dude, what can you do for us? He's like, you know what? I can hook you up, and he actually did. He got us into like a decent club. It was like a 2-3 story club. He got us a discount, and he got us like a free drink too. So like I told you, we were told don't talk to the black dudes, don't talk to the white dudes, don't talk to any foreigners about promotion, right? In Roppongi, just talk to Japanese. And when we talked to the Japanese people, they were kind of basically fucking us over, kind of. Because I guess I don't know if they just think foreigners are stupid or what, but I think that's partially the case, as well as like when you're in America, right? Like, because let's be honest, sometimes us as Americans, we kind of think foreigners are stupid too, just because they don't speak the language, or they don't speak the language very well. So like that guy's kind of stupid, even though that's not true at all. But yeah, so that there's so many misconceptions that are said by Japanese, by other foreigners, and it's just always spread about. You know what I mean? And always makes me kind of wonder, like, what has been said about me? You know? Because like, for example, my wife, her mom, and her family, they didn't even know there was like black people in America. They didn't know at all. How ignorant is that? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought they were all in Africa, which I think is funny. Like, I don't think it's racist. It's just funny. So when they told me that, I was laughing. Like, but okay, whatever. Other racist shit, man. Like some things, like it's very difficult to determine like if things are racism here or not. And like everyone always thinks like black people are oversensitive, like, and we call out racism every 10 seconds. Just like if a gay guy calls discrimination every 10 seconds, or a girl he calls out, sexism every 10 seconds. That's how like I feel like in today's social media, that's how everything is kind of made to feel like. But I just wanted to point out that like when you come here, or if you're already here, you might even understand this. That there's just all these preconceptions, and like I wouldn't even go as far as to say all these preconceptions are racism. It's just like these pre-thoughts or stereotypes or whatever you want to think that kind of keep people from. Sometimes keeps people from succeeding. Other times it keeps people from just interacting. You know. Like you're like, don't talk to Africans because they're all bad. They're all alcoholics. They want to use you and do drugs. Then I went and talked to the Africans. They were all fine. They were entrepreneurs. They were students. They were, husbands. They were fathers. Cowboys fan. Actually, this hat was just cheap, so I'm a hat fan. I will almost wear any hat. I wish I had a Seattle hat because I'm from Seattle. Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna tell my family that. But yeah. When I went to Hawaii, I got a bunch of hats for like each for 10 yen, So I was pretty happy. These hats here in Japan, about $60 a piece, so it's a little expensive. But yeah, let's move on the subject, okay? Like these are the things I've been told, like about like by people, don't do this or that or this. But let's actually talk about racism itself. I think it's perfectly fine that Japanese are ignorant about certain subjects. I mean, it's their country. It's kind of sort of up to them to figure out about the rest of the world. And if they kind of don't have time, or if they don't want to not be ignorant, then hey, I kind of get it. If you're working a full time job or two full time jobs, you don't have time to figure out racism or anything else going on in political in the world. Besides North Korea, because they're shooting missiles over you sometimes. They've only been shooting missiles over Japan for like 5 years now. But let's talk about Japan and like racism, okay? First of all, Japan's a monoculture, right? Yeah, they're ignorant and nice, and yeah, that's all there is. Like, but there are very few. Actually, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how you statistically talk about racism in Japan. I just feel like he said people were just ignorant. That's all there is to it. And it's only sad when people are unwilling not to be ignorant or unwilling to learn about something new. They just like they're like, I just want this drink. You're like, look, there's Pepsi, there's tea, there's milk. No, this is the best. You're like, no, it's not the best. They have Coca-Cola. They have all this stuff, and you're like, I am unwilling to change or learn. So like, if you're narrow-minded and you won't change, that's what's kind of hard. But anyways, but I just think it's funny that like if you read the news, like Japanese like hate Korea, right? Like not like hate, but they have a strong like dislike of Korea. Okay, and it's always because Korea brings up like World War II. They're like, you guys murdered and raped us, and Japan like has paid them so much money. Top Japanese pet peeves. Top. My first one is the excuse that this is Japanese way. Okay, I feel like you hear this excuse for everything. They keep you like stabbing some person in the eye, and I'm like, look, please don't stab him in the eye. They'd be like, look, you're a foreigner, gaikokojin, you're stupid baka, and you don't know Japanese way. I'm like, I'm assuming stabbing people in the eye is not Japanese way, but you're probably right. I'll just let you do it. But they use the excuse Japanese way for everything. And I know that they don't do it for each other, but for me and other foreigners, they do it. So that's my one pet peeve. This is it, one excuse. I just wish they had more excuses like Americans. They have tons of excuses for everything. I just want them to be a little more creative. Next pet peeve, Japanese pet peeves. They don't talk much. I'm a very big talker, and I just kind of sort of wish they would talk a little more. It's not really a pet peeve. It's just like, the pet peeve part is like, I feel like I'm not really allowed to talk. I have to conform to their culture. Like, if I talk too much, you're like, look at this foreigner. He talks too much. He's one of those cocky, annoying, arrogant foreigners. So I have to like conform and not talk as much, just so like maybe they'll like me or not hate me at least, or find me annoying. When you're in Japan, you're like an ambassador, and they're like, of course they're like, where are you from? America. And if you're annoying, oh, you're from America. They're like, fuck Americans. There you go. This guy's fucking American. Look at him. He's annoying. He's on the train. He's eating with his mouth open. He's talking loudly on the cell phone. His feet smell. He's smoking cigarettes. He has 13 children. Hey, I don't really care about cultural appropriation? I can't even talk. But basically, when they take American culture and they say it's their own, I honestly don't care. You know what I mean? Because America itself has stolen someone's culture from everyone else. I feel like we can give back a little bit, okay? Like, half the songs I hear, like, my daughter, she loves music. She plays piano. She, like, little Bruno Mars. She's like, it'd be, like, bedtime. And I'm like, please go to bed. She's like, I'm going to play piano real quick. And she'll just be singing these songs in Japanese, but they're completely American songs, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but they just changed the words. So Japanese, like, steal, like, everything from America. And they say it's their own. And then even my daughter doesn't know, like, half the stuff is American. And I feel kind of frustrated about that. But overall, I don't care if they steal stuff. Japanese are welcome to steal everything they want from America. They can even say Starbucks. Like, yeah, we made Starbucks. Even though it's from Seattle where I'm from, but yeah, we made it. And, yeah, I feel like some Japanese would probably believe it. They'd be like, we're so original. We made Starbucks. We're the best. So, but yeah, I don't care if, like, they want to claim all that at all. Actually, here's a pet peeve that really got to me. Traditional Japanese coffee. What is traditional Japanese coffee, guys? Cheap accommodations. I don't know. You're gonna be in Tokyo. First of all, it's gonna be Olympics. It's gonna be in Tokyo. You're not gonna be the only one that wants to come here. So cheap accommodations would be very, very difficult to find. I highly recommend, either making friends or they always try to get you as Sakula housing and stuff like that. Don't use that. Craigslist, don't use that. Honestly, I don't know because everyone's gonna want to make money off you as soon as you come during the Tokyo Olympics. So it's gonna be a hard thing. So I would try to get like one of those what do you call them, pod hotels? The popular little pod hotel. Those things are cheap, between $30 and $50. So no problem. But I would make my reservation in advance, like even years in advance if you can do it. Survival, become a host club person. What does that mean? So many questions, guys. But anyways, yeah. So like, Japanese can be, like hate whoever at any given time, and I always feel like Japanese hate Asians the most. I don't know why that is. Like currently, so I don't actually I don't have an answer for you about the cheaper accommodations thing, because you're coming during a time where Japanese want to make money, and as soon as they know they can make money, they double the price of everything. So, like on the weekends, like karaoke doubles automatically. Host club? That's what you're talking about. Alright, you guys, try to be nice to each other. Anyways, but yeah, so like currently, Vietnamese people are coming here a lot. Okay, when I go to the convenience store, like they're like all Vietnamese people, especially around here. And I'll talk to some of my friends and buddies, or even like family members, and like we'll be on the subject of why Japanese service is going downhill. Because I'll be like, oh, today I was at the convenience store and it took 10 minutes. They're like, it's because it's foreigners, it's Vietnamese people. Like, so every time there's like service goes down, it's always because of the foreigners and stuff. So, which I think is really funny here. Like in Kobe, like Kobe's beautiful. That's why I came here, and plus the educational system. But when you look around, there's tons of vandalization everywhere. And the reason for this, apparently, by Japanese is because foreigners do it. So, yeah. Foreigners, we come here, even though we speak shitty Japanese, and I don't know, apparently some people in America, they're so rich, they spend $2,000 on a plane ticket just to come to Kobe to write really, really shitty Japanese on the wall. Or it's influenced by us, therefore indirectly we're bad because of that. So yeah, there was an article about that like a few months ago, because like there was tons of like vandalization over in Tokyo, and like I guess Tokyo kids were doing it. But the lady, she's like a professor at Tokyo University, was saying that foreigners did it, or foreigners influenced it, or foreigners with their Japanese friends did it. And the reason being is because all the graffiti was in the alphabet, not in Japanese language, right? But I could like take you guys on a walk and show you the graffiti. It's like really shitty English. Like I think an English person, even with low education, could spell some of these words. So it makes me laugh. Yeah. So I have relatives that thinks everything bad happens is because of Koreans and Japanese, and right now Vietnamese. So they're just like, if you send them back, everything will be fine. I feel like if you send all the Japanese, but the Koreans, the Chinese, all the bigger groups, you send them away, then they'll just retarget to the next bigger group. So if it's Muslims, that'll just be the next group that's doing bad. So that'll just be the next target. And eventually, if they erase all groups, and it was saying it's just like Western groups like Australians, UK, people like that, then they'll just target us. Basically, we make up like less than 1% of all of Japan, but it's always said that foreigners do all the crime for the most part. So that means your babies, your babies, your grandbabies, even the kids are not here, come to Japan just to do crime, apparently. And Japanese don't do crime. At least not as much as foreigners. So, which makes me giggle because I read a newspaper, and this newspaper talks crazy. The crimes that some of these Japanese people do is unimaginable. Like, I'm not saying it's worse in America. It's amazing how bad these crimes are, but yet it's not in Japanese news. So, oh, I did want to mention this, which is really negative for us foreigners. Apparently, a few months ago, the wifey told me this. So I guess some guy, he was like 23 years old, foreigner from America. He apparently he's suspected of being a serial killer. He would lure in girls and he would decapitate them and do craziness to them, which is a bad thing. And of course, it looks bad on foreigners, especially Americans. So that right there haunts me. And I really, yeah, I just hate hearing things like that. Because all it takes is one bad thing, like the Logan Paul thing that started in 2018. That's all it takes to make Japanese, like, churn their kind of, like, whatever. I wouldn't say hatred. I'll just say distrust of foreigners to you in particular. So, Japanese have, like, a natural distrust. So, and I feel like it's kind of pre-programmed into the culture. I say this because my daughter, like, I feel like she hates me sometimes, but I'm actually a strict dad, so maybe that's the reason. No, but like she doesn't want to be different though, right? And like during the Shogaku age, elementary age, they're always comparative, and it's really, really intensely comparative, right? So like my daughter, she's like a foot taller than everyone in class. She's taller, she weighs more, she's stronger, she's bigger. Tends to happen when you might be. But basically, she looks different, of course. The true Superman in Japan. So I didn't see your video yet, but I saw that you made the logo, right? So I want to buy that from you. How much? I'll message you. You gotta like give me your Google because YouTube eliminated messaging because no one uses it. Anyways, if I had to say anything about this video, sorry, this is like a long rant. It's like 22 minutes. I'm gonna end it soon. But very simply, like, ignorance in Japan, okay? There is racism, but it's not as much as ignorance. YouTube is doing what YouTube does best, which is try to get the U out of the tube part. Eventually, it's just gonna be tube. We'll all be watching tube. You guys been watching tube? YouTube's be gone. They got the new Karate Kid coming out, all that stuff. They don't promote YouTubers as much anymore unless you have 1 million subscribers. And they already effed over, like, you know, us, small subscribers. So, YouTube doesn't care anymore. But that's a whole nother subject, so. But Amazon might come out with their own YouTube, so there you go. So, yeah. But the ignorance in Japan is sheer, like, amazing, you know? Yeah. Staggeringly amazing. And to make friends, I feel bad, like especially for ALT workers, because ALT teachers, like they come, and they're gonna be contracted out, and depending on the company, people will treat you differently. Like I think if you're like at say Interact, people will treat you a little more respectful, and they'll actually try to be friends with you. But if you're at like a worse company, they're gonna treat you worse. Like you're gonna be like, hey, you want to hang out? And they're gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I feel super isolated in Japan every single day of my life. Not enough to be depressed. Like, for the first 2 years, I was completely depressed here, actually. And the first reason is not because Japan. It's because I left my son in America. That's why. And it crushed my soul. But after I get over that and I started traveling back and forth to America, how did I make friends? I went to Japanese school and I made foreigner friends. I found out making friends... The best, I have 2 kids, yes. I have a boy and I have a girl. Now you know. The best way to make friends in Japan is, of course, speak Japanese, but you gotta be outgoing. First of all, you gotta be a part of things. Like my wife's mom is Buddhist, right? So like she took me to the Buddhist temple. She's like, "You're gonna be Buddhist now." I was just like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And I made friends that way, and they're all Buddhists, and they were fine. They're very nice, very kind. They're like, "You want to go out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's go out." I mean, they're a little geeky, but you know, I'm partially geeky too, so it kind of worked. we'd talk about girls, and I'd be like, why you guys single? Because they were like, some of them like 30. I was like, why you guys single? Like, I was already married, right? And I was like 25, 20, you know. But they're just really shy. So, okay, first of all, does Buddhists even have hell? I mean, I didn't think there was a hell for Buddhists. So you know, how do you keep them liable? I'm just saying. That's a whole different subject. Anyways, but yeah, I made friends through like just through school, through meetups, through the whole Buddhist thing, or if you have a church. I don't know. You don't have to be super religious, but just go in the church. You can meet people, whatever. Or you can just get on YouTube and just say, I have no friends, and just cry a lot, and then maybe people will be your friend. I really don't know. So, but outgoing, especially like in Osaka. Like Osaka is kind of like they love to laugh. People in Osaka, they're outgoing, right? Tokyo, they're quiet. Tokyo, like if you fell down, like having a heart attack in the middle of the street, like where cars are driving and all that stuff, people won't help you. They will just run over you with the car, and then they'll just say "stupid guy Gene" for blocking the road. Tokyo always entertains me, and the taxi drivers in Tokyo's they're amazing. People in Tokyo don't talk that much, so it's difficult to make friends with Tokyo. Also, kind of helped that my wife's Japanese, so like I can kind of like she made friends, and maybe like her friend's boyfriend or husband, I can make friends with them like that. So, and now of course I have a kid, we do play dates and stuff like that, so it increases the chance of making friends. But Japan honestly can be a really lonely place. I don't know. Osaka itself always wanted to be different, you know what I mean? Like, but Osaka to me is great. Oh yeah, Gaijin Bar is a great place to meet friends, especially Gaijin hunters. Yeah, you'll find a lot of Gaijin. I started drawing anime like before I even came to Japan, just like every other weeaboo. Yeah, speaking Japanese is the key to everything, obviously. Once you speak Japanese, you can get everything you want: girlfriend, boyfriend, job, whatever you want. Or you can be rich and famous, like Justin Bieber. Do I say his name wrong? Is it Beaver? What? It doesn't even matter. But just being famous, you can get anything you want here, pretty much. Are you finding family? Let's talk about the levels of like favoritism. Like whites are favored more, obviously. For me, I don't really care. I think I mentioned this in the last video. So if you're white, you're gonna be favored more. For example, like I was going for a walk one day, right? I was walking outside my house. This is back when I was living down south. Two high school girls, they came up to me because I'm a foreigner, and like there's literally no foreigners around there. So they're like, oh my god, Gaikokujin, where do you come from? I was like, oh, America Kalakamasha. Like, oh really? Honto, sugoi, kakoi, like that. And they're like, one girl, she said not much. The other girl was like, I love white guys. I was like, great, that's great for you. I was like, because one of my best friends, he's blonde hair, blue eyes, very tall. I was like, my best friend, he's very tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. She's like, oh my god, does he look like Naruto? I was like, yeah, he looks just like Naruto. She's like, oh, I want to date him and have his baby. I don't know if she was just saying that for her friends, or if she was just saying that just because that's actually what she wanted. So, and for me, I don't really care about the favoritism because the favoritism is very obvious and apparent, and I don't cry over it. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly base for me when I meet people, I like them for their personality. I don't care if you're fat, tall, ugly. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna judge you on how you treat me, how you treat other people, how you speak. So like, I've had like coming here, I've had a lot of Chinese people actually treat me very terribly, right? But I don't hate all of China or all of Chinese people. Oh my god, Salaryman, and this is not all of them. Salaryman, they're interesting. Like, some of them make me mad. Some of them are actually really cool. Cool. I'll talk to you on Google Hangouts. But for example, this is like a month ago when I was like coming home from work with Emily. I brought Emily to work with me, and I was coming home, and we're at the getting a ticket, right? And Emily was sitting next to me. She wasn't feeling good. She was really sick, so we had to take her to the hospital next day. But anyways, I was standing there. Emily was right here. I was just like, just stand next to me, okay? Because people were coming from the train, and this sorry guy, he was probably like maybe 60. He walked and he like rammed into my daughter, almost knocked her over. She was super sick, like about to throw up sick. And you know, these are the things I had to deal with and put up here. Like in America, like yeah, there's racism, I get it, but I've never had any random person walk in the store and push my son, you know, in front of me. So of course I snapped. I picked my daughter up, walked up to the guy, I got in his face. So I was like, "What are you doing?" I screamed at him. I was like I was this close, to, like just. But I just like held it. I was like, you know what, it's whatever. This guy's not worth it. But every day after that, even when I go to Asha now, like I think if I ever see that guy again, I'm not a violent person at all. Like I'm a pacifist. I don't like fighting, but like if you're gonna knock down like a 7-year-old girl who's sick just because you're having a shitty day, and this is not the first time I have been bumped by a salaryman or my wife or anyone else. It just it just gets to me. I'm sorry. Don't like bullies. I don't like fighting. Like my wife, this is Tokyo for you. My wife, when she was pregnant with my daughter in Tokyo, a salaryman actually hit her in the stomach on accident. It was an accident, of course, but he hit her really hard because he was like shifting or wasn't paying attention. Hit her when she was pregnant. And then she got really pissed and stopped him and grabbed him in the arm. It's like, what are you doing? You know, I'm pregnant. You hit me. Apologize. And like, I could have a miscarriage. Just like screamed at him. You know what I mean? And that was my like 4th year of being around Tokyo, and I was just like, maybe we don't need to live in Tokyo no more. Tokyo don't seem that great. And if I ever see something like that, that's just like, I'm sorry. I get tired of like, blacks getting bashed here in Japan. I get tired of foreigners being bashed in Japan, and that's getting blamed for all the crime. You know what I mean? Japanese do their share of the crime, and everyone does their share of the crime. But if someone was gonna like accidentally hit a pregnant person, fine, apologize, take care of your situation like a man. This is a salary man. He's not that old. He was like probably older than I was. He's like 30, 40-year old. I don't know. But that really made me really upset. These years of this piled up. At this point, I just kind of have like a feeling of not like hatred, but just yeah, just favoritism. Let it go. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be your color and go where you. China. No, I haven't been to China. I've been to Korea, only the airport, and I want to go. I was thinking about going to China, but yeah, that situation is crazy. But I still have hope for Japan. I still have love for Japan to some degree. And it's the biggest reason is because half my family's here, right? I don't want this country to fall apart if my family's here in it. So I'm kind of invested in this. As I'm invested in America. Yeah, Trump's president, so what? Yes, people are racist, so what? They were racist 400 years ago and they're racist to this day. Is that a surprise? Not really. You know? It'd be nice if we all can get along. It's all about tolerance. I call it the bullshit factor. And this evolves not just race, it evolves everything. Being favoritism if you're a girl versus a boy, or I just want us all to get along, of course. That's the ideal. Or at least not like physically fight. Like, okay, you hate me, I get it. Can I just shop here? Can I go shopping, get my food, not bother you or hurt anyone? Japan, I would actually encourage, like, if you guys want to come to Japan and like just hang out, be here, exist, and see how it is, I would encourage that. Just because, like, regardless of your color, your sex, no one's gonna bother you. Okay, they're not gonna say anything to you. If you walked around with a shirt saying "I'm gay," they're not gonna say nothing to you. They're not gonna bother you. They're not gonna harass you. So, where I feel like America sometimes is kind of it's like a minefield. I feel like I can't say anything anymore. I could be like, I feel a little hungry. I want a Snickers bar. And someone would be like, "What'd you say?" I'd be like, yeah, what did I say? And they want to fight me now because I don't know what I said. So, pronouns like he or she, calling someone who's pansexual or gender fluent the wrong thing. I feel like I can't talk about nothing in America anymore. So, I guess it's a minefield. But overall, like if you want to come to Japan, live in Japan, or just hang out in Japan, you can be free here, you know. But you just gotta keep in mind that you do have to learn the language. America's out of control. Honestly, I'm not in America. I can't sit there and judge America if it's out of control or not. Yeah, you got some of the closet racists coming out. Yay, who cares? And some of the things they're doing is not that great. But it's like when I look at America as a whole, like I can show you guys like an hour video of cops shooting not just black people but everyone, shooting everyone up, shooting 13-year-old white girls, running out the street. I could show you this. This is not funny, you know. And I don't know. So like again, America, everyone's super sensitive. Back 20 years ago, we had sensitivity, but it's not as bad as now. I don't know what happened. So I do hope. Again, I do have hope for America, and I hope you guys are all safe and all that fun stuff. And Tokyo Olympics, you guys should come, come. I think it'll be fun. I mean, I really don't know, but I'll be here, so I'm already kind of lucky in that way. But yeah, so to me, racism in Japan is very much bearable compared to America, and that's just the truth of it. If you want to learn Japanese for a few months, like before I came to Japan, I went to in college. I took Japanese for a year, and that was not even close to enough to survive in Japan, honestly. So it really depends on your ability to learn Japanese. Like my buddy, he's really good with Japanese. He has a passion for Japanese. He can focus, and he just gets it. You know, like some people get music, whereas for me, I actually have to work for it. So everything I can do is all persistence. It's not my passion. I do it for my family. I do it for me. I do it because I want to, but I'm not. I don't. It doesn't click for me necessarily. I recommend getting like this book I have here, Genki, something like this. It was only $40. You probably can find it online. This is Genki 2. I'm about halfway done with it. If you can get through even like half of the first book, it should be enough to get you through 2 months. You just gotta learn like how to say it. Where's the bathroom? You know, you're like toilet wa doka desu ka, or how much is this? Ikura desu ka? Stuff like that. Just really basic stuff. When it comes to buying stuff, you really don't need Japanese. You just like, huh? Put it on the counter, then they'll tell you how much. See, you're one of the special types. Kanji's fun for you. Like, some people really hate kanji. For me, I love kanji, but I'm an artist. I draw. So, to me, it's kind of intuitive. So, for me, kanji's great. So, I'm not... So, Japanese is definitely not easy. What book are you using now? Before you said you just finished Genki 2, right? I'm on Genki right now. What are you doing? I mean, I've been working on this. This is like 300 kanji. I'm like halfway done. I read the dictionary. I memorize words from the dictionary. And I've been working on Genki 2. So whatever. Also, like, what's very useful is watching anime, but make sure it's kind of sort of on your level. Spanish? Hola, ¿cómo está? I should be sporting the Seattle hat, okay? I just got this because it was cheap, okay? Don't judge me. But yeah, I've never been to Texas. I had some people, I know people that's from Texas, and they said it was alright. They said it gets too hot sometimes. But yeah. Anyway, like, I think this little like rant went on too long for the title. If you guys have any more questions, if not. But yeah, I would say everyone, all foreigners, welcome to come to Japan. I don't care if you're black, purple, green, or alien. My daughter has zero. She has zero conception of racism at all. You know, so if I feel this is me and the wifey's worry. She worries more than I do. Like, she's so worried. Like the other day, she was talking to me about like just like worried about like her own family members like saying things to my daughter because her aunts and uncles like to compare stuff and like, oh, you're, you know, like Emily, she's looking a little chubby, a little fat there, or she's not doing in school, and like my wifey is really concerned about this, and I'm sitting there like, I see happy kids everywhere. I saw a boy on the train. He was actually pretty good looking. He was tall, skinny, had the crazy hair, whatever. He had friends. He was laughing. He was speaking perfect Japanese. Uh, he had no problem. Another buddy of mine, his son is like top student, has a girlfriend. He's like top student in the whole school in English and everything. He's the president of the school. He's a half food, has no problem. And my buddy's from the UK and he's black. So like when my wife comes to me with these things, sometimes I I always of course think about her feelings and stuff, but at the same time I'm like I'm like, why do I have to deal with this? You know what I mean? I left America, not necessarily because of racism or nothing, but like I just thought it'd be different here. Like a little, I don't want to worry about discrimination everywhere I go. Yeah, just be friendly, for real. Like just be like, be Genki, be friendly, talk, never assume. There's a lot. Like I'll take you on a walk. Like down the street there's a college. Like when I was going to school like 6 months ago, just down the street from here, every single day I'd see five black people, which weirded me out. They were probably more weirded out by me because I was looking at them like this. Like, but these are like black dudes from Africa. But yeah, there's black people here from Africa. I don't know. And most of the black people you see from America, I think they're mostly in Osaka or Tokyo area. But I don't know. It's all about your effort, man. If you want to make it here, and if you can deal with honestly not speaking English all day, or especially if you're really good at school and you can suck up the Japanese, you will do well. But yeah, so if you're like socially awkward, you don't talk much, and you're not good at studying, it's gonna be a very painful life for you here. So unless you're rich and you can just buy anything you want, then yeah. But my daughter has no concept of racism in Japan really, or so when people say things to her, if they ever do, she doesn't really know why at all, and she hasn't exactly complained to me about at least anything recently about anything going on. So far, she had pretty kiddie life. Well, my wifey. Okay, look at this. My wifey, me and her, we met. We dated for 6 months exactly in America, and then we got married, and we've been married ever since. And we've been married for about 10 years now. So it can work. So next goal is try to get to 20 years. That's the goal. But yeah, my daughter has no concept of racism or anything. So if someone was mean to her because of the way she looks, she has really no reference or she has no. She'd be like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know why you're saying that. And so far, she has not told me anything. A lot of her friends they're all half foods like her. So there's a few black kids that go to the school she's at currently, and these are just black kids. They're not half foods or nothing like that. So the school we picked in particular has like at least 30 to 50 half foods. So we know it's a pretty diverse group of kids. So like my daughter doesn't get targeted or nothing. So because we made sure of that. Okay, every other day in Hawaii, we would ask my daughter Emily. I'd be like, Emily, Japan or Hawaii? She'd be like Japan every single time. She loves Japan. Period. Hands down. Honestly, like a long time ago, hip hop was one of my favorite genres. But I'd say hip hop is not my favorite anymore. Like I guess I just diversified because like I'm an artist. So like when I do my art, I like to listen to classical. I love heavy metal. I listen to a lot of J-pop now and stuff like that. So anything that's make you, she's been brainwashed. She has actually. My wife worries about that crap. I'm just like, don't worry. Just let her be brainwashed, okay? I think I'm probably too easy about this. You know what I mean? Japanese like just brainwash her. I'm just like, all right, cool, brainwash her, whatever. Like whatever works. Like some people said, when in Rome, be brainwashed like Romans. Or yeah. But music wise, I love all types of music. Music is great. Anything that makes you move your body or just move your soul, just whatever. Like my favorite number one music is like it's actually heavy metal. Next is like hip hop, but today's hip hop, honestly, like I don't know where it's going. Honestly, I grew up listening to R&B, R. Kelly. I just watched that R. Kelly thing, how he's getting pulled from Spotify and all that stuff. But R. Kelly's a perv. What can you say about that, man? So I grew up with R&B, all that stuff. I know Motown. My grandma would listen to that 24 hours along with Elvis. So like just whatever. My family is really diverse, you guys. Down to the guthers. My family is like all mixed and stuff. Like so like, and I also want to say this before I end this. Like racism or ignorance or whatever you want to call it, it's from everyone. You know, hip hop garbage. It is garbage because like I understand the whole sex and blah blah blah, but it's too much. You know, I thought back in the day when it was gangster rap, that was too much. Now it's just like pure sex and thuggy. What I don't know what the hell's going on. It's just garbage. You know, I, is it okay if I want something more meaningful? You know what I mean, like Dead Mouse or something. I want some like long beats that move me. You know, can I listen to Beethoven or Bach? Is that okay? Especially being a colored person. But yeah, so, but yeah, I would like to say anyone can be racist. Okay, I don't like racism. I don't like racist people. I don't like. I especially don't like closet racists. Okay, I feel like just do you, be you. If you're a racist, be a racist. You know, when I was growing up, I grew up in the country. There's this one dude who's hella racist, and every day, like, he'd just say the craziest racist shit to me. But it made me laugh because it was random. I'd have these shitty days. It's not because of anything bad. It's just because you're a kid, right? And you have bad, good days. But he'll come up and he'll say, you like know why they buried the black guy up to his head in dirt? I'm like, no, why? He'd be like, Afro turf. And just look at me, and I'm like, just randomly, I just started laughing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like, all right, man, it's cool, whatever. But but my other friend actually, another black dude, he's like a grade higher. He like wanted to kill him, cause of that always. But it made me laugh. So, anyways, guys, 47 minutes, a long time. I enjoyed talking to you guys like this. Of course, all topics won't be about race or nothing like that. A reason this topic kind of came up is because of the whole Nobita bullcrap. I feel like Nobita, like, you guys know Freddy Krueger. Hey man, you should. I'll just text you, okay? But you guys know Freddy Krueger, right? You know how he like terrorized people. And didn't they have the Freddy versus Jason, that scene? He's like, everyone just forgot about me. Nobita's like that, okay? Like, he's like one of those guys that like jump on the political anything. He don't even care. He'll just talk about a subject, even if he doesn't know anything. He'd be like, feminism. He'd be like, I read 2 pages from this magazine. Feminism is great. And he'll just go on a rant about that. Like, he made a video talking about, like, how America is shit. He's never been to America, but that's what he said, based on his research. Then he made a video saying all black people... No, he said, basically, is black people good for Japan? I know he wants to say, you know, black people are not good for Japan, but here's the thing. People go, they watch the videos, they get all triggered, then they start sharing the videos, and it just makes them more popular. Which I think is funny, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And this is just one Japanese dude's opinion, you know what I mean? All of Japan is not saying this, even though some Japanese might agree, but they're not all saying it. So, 5 a.m. in London. What's the weather like in London? The weather here is beautiful. It's like Chile. Some girls, they really do love black women. Some girls, they love the white guys. Some girls will not date foreigners, period. They just won't. Japanese only. They'll say that to you. People get triggered over everything. So, I mean, like, I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? Let me ask you guys a simple question. You have 24 hours to live, okay? You have only 24 hours starting now. What do you care about? Honestly, okay? You're going to die after these 24 hours are up. What are you going to do now? Are you worried about racism? I'm not. Are you worried about your job? I'm not. Are you worried about that guy that pissed you off? I'm not. So if you think of it like that every single day, you'd probably be a little happier. Pray and confess. So you're gonna go pray and confess because you might go to hell. What'd you guys do, huh? What'd you guys do? See, I don't feel like I need to confess anything, but I might go pray. So, and to say pray in Japanese is like oi noli sulu or oli noli shimasu. So I'd go pray. Going to hell. So okay, fine. You go pray, and then what? That's you should think about that. Like I know exactly what I'd do. So Japanese people are colorblind. Eh, based on what I've seen, that's not the case at all. They're not colorblind, and they are more scared of anyone more than white people. They favor Asians a little more, even though at the same time they hate them. They have like a weird love-hate relationship with other Asian people. So, but when it comes to like say India or any other weirder culture or culture they're really not familiar with, they're gonna be way less trusting. You know, there's a funny ass video. This is about China, but I feel like it applies to Japan as well. So, the last job I was working at, I got treated differently. You know, like my boss was okay enough, but overall, like I got treated differently than the white guys, and that's just to be honest. But I cannot sit here and say it directly because of racism. First of all, she had so many bad experiences with Americans. Period, white or black, green. She just don't like Americans. So I'm American, so she was already iffy from the first place to even hire me simply because I'm American. So I'm not gonna sit there and say it's racism, but she don't like the nationality Americans, basically. McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's. McDonald's employs high school people and other low people. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna be mean about it, but it's the truth. You know, people without degrees work at McDonald's, or people with degrees nowadays work at McDonald's because the world's changing. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you all go. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys at the Olympics. Hopefully, you guys come. I'm not even joking, man. I would go I'd literally go meet up with y'all. We just have a group and rent something and just be at the Olympics. You know what I mean? So, but 24 hours to live. Think about that. Bakuchuman. I'll look that up, man. But yeah, I just think it'd be cool just to go to the Olympics and stuff like that. So I just hope Japanese honestly puts enough infrastructure in that idea. They've been talking about it, but they're really indecisive about what's going on, and they're trying. But they're trying to tax the crap out of foreigners. They already implemented one tax. So like when you leave Japan, you have to now pay like a $20 tax. So it's like you're leaving, give me $20. And you're like, why? Because I said so, and that's one of the new rules. But anyways, peace. Till next time. Bye. Let me find out.